Hi, it's Dr. Elisha Van Duzen at New Hope Chiropractic. We all like our social media accounts. We like to be connected. We like to share our lives with people. But sometimes people carry this to an extreme and they're on too many social media outlets. They're spending too much time on social media. And believe it or not, it can actually have an effect on their mental health. Can the words we type and filters we use on social media really predict if we're depressed or narcissistic? Well, it's actually looking that way. The latest evidence points to research gleaned from researchers at Stony Brook University and University of Pennsylvania. They developed an algorithm that can actually predict future depression by analyzing the words a person can use. Use this frequently on social media like Facebook posts. And in fact, the findings suggest that 4 specific words are strong indicators of future depression diagnosis. And these linguistic red flags are things like words like tears and feelings, use of more first-person pronouns like I and me, and mentions of hostility and loneliness as well. So, just to recap here, social media lead to excessive social media use can lead to depression and anxiety sometimes. With the more social media platforms that you're actively on, and the more that you're on, the more likely you are to feel depressed or anxious over time. So somebody, for example, would be at lower risk if they're active on 2 or less social media platforms. Higher risk if they're active on 7 to 11 social media platforms. Instagram social media platforms are most associated with feelings of depression, loneliness, sleep trouble, anxiety, and bullying. And then Snapchat was a close second. And are you filtered for depression? Well, depressed Instagram users are more likely to use filters less frequently. Photos are more likely to contain a face. When filters are used, depressed users are more likely to use Inkwell, black and white filters. Non-depressed users use Valencia filters more often to brighten images up. And the more often people used Facebook over a 2-week period, the more their life dissatisfaction levels declined, no matter why they were using Facebook app or how big their Facebook network was. So the more often they used it for a 2-week period, the more likely they were to be dissatisfied with their lives. Also, social media can serve as a platform for narcissists. Narcissists with low self-esteem can be more active on outlets like Facebook, and all this can feed the ego with online validation. So if you're addicted to your smartphone and checking social media platforms all the time, like constantly, that's a warning sign you may have a social media problem. Keeping in touch with family and friends by commenting on status updates instead of being with them in person or on the phone, that's another warning sign. Checking social media first thing in the morning as soon as you get up and right before you fall asleep, that's something I personally never recommend because it makes you anxious and gets you ramped up so that you can't put your mind to rest and get a good night's sleep. Feelings of panic if you go for several hours without checking your social media. Obsessing over the best way to capture the moment so you can post about it. And these are, by the way, also signs of smartphone addiction. Another word for that is nomophobia. That's somebody who's addicted to their smartphone. So if you're constantly around your smartphone in general and checking social media, of course, and as well, then that's a huge red flag right there. And also comparing yourself to people online all the time. That's another surefire way of making yourself really depressed and feeling sad about yourself. And also, if you routinely get upset and angry if people don't comment on your updates, that's another problem too. And taking down posts that don't draw a lot of reaction or attention, or checking in on social media whenever you have a spare moment, another sign you may have an addiction and where it's actually starting to affect your mental health. So, like I said, we all love our social media. I'm posting this on social media right now, obviously, but just keep in mind, pay attention to how long you're on social media, how often you check it, and just make sure it's not completely running your life because that can lead to problems. So, hope this helps. Check us out at newhopechiropractic.com and have a very healthy day.